saw somebody get up and leave. Yeah, we'll talk about it. And we are live, folks. Welcome to the Sit Down Standard, the podcast celebrating all the amazing things you can do while sitting, whether it's watching movies, enjoying television, or playing games. I'm one of your hosts, David Bram, joined as always by Gerald Bales.
Hi.
And Jordan Peterson.
I'm going to let it slide since it's a late night.
Okay. We are recording this a little late. But as always, I want to say, if you're listening to the audio version, go to YouTube. You can watch our video podcast. This week, we are going to be tackling Batman vs. Superman.
It's Batman v Superman.
Okay,
Did
whatever.
You see the title correctly?
Okay, sorry. So first things first, what we want to do is, normally we would do catch up with everybody, see what you're doing and what you're doing. But we all just got done watching Batman vs. v Superman. Sorry.
Thank you. Dawn of Justice.
Okay, Dawn of Justice. Dawn of Justice. And first what we want to do is we're going to give a non-spoiler review, and then we'll go into spoiler territory, and then maybe we'll do some other stuff afterwards, depending on how long it goes. So,
okay, cool.
So let's start. Our review of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Got the full title there.
A Zack Snyder production film.
Yes. Let's start with
the dawning of the justice. Did you feel like justice was dawned?
I don't know. I'm going to say as a general. Okay, so me going into this movie as everybody knows, if you're avid listener of the podcast, I was excited for this movie, and I will say this movie. I had tempered expectations because a lot of negative reviews were out there, and it actually fell below my tempered expectations, which probably tells you I didn't. It's not that I didn't enjoy the movie. It's just the movie has a lot of problems. There is some good things, and I would say if you're a comic book fan, go see the movie. I mean, you're going to go see it anyways. And there are parts. I would say there is a good movie in this movie, but it's surrounded by so much not good movie. But first thing I want to ask you guys is, we do the thumbs out. I think we're all going to go thumbs down, right?
Whoa. You don't know me.
Okay, here, real quick. Let's just do this.
Bro.
Okay, so thumbs down is a bad movie. Thumbs to the side is a good movie. And thumbs up is a great movie. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All three thumbs down. Now, it's easy to crap on this for obviously a bunch of different reasons, but let's start with something positive. What did you guys actually, again, we're not going to spoil anything. What did you guys like about the movie? Let's start with that. Let's start with some positive.
I guess where they took the movie with like Batman's character, without spoiling the movie, like I like the direction they took evolving Batman as like a character compared to like the Nolan Batman and like the Tim Burton Batman and all that stuff. So it makes sense how he is in this movie to some extent. I like that. They did a lot of fan service in this too. Like, there are a couple moments in the film where your inner nerd is like, oh yeah, they showed that thing, and that was cool. But other than that,
I thought it was cool that Batman used a couple guns a couple times, which he doesn't usually do, which is cool. There were actual shots, like you could tell the frame like pretty much came out of a comic book.
Right.
That's Zack Snyder.
It actually felt like it would have been more. Did you guys see the first Hulk?
Yes.
Where they like actually
the
did
Ang Lee
it like
Hulk?
with like comic book frames, and they would slide it around. It was really cool.
The transitions
I felt like that
were
would almost work better in this movie to make it feel, because it felt all over the place, and that would make it make more sense because it is all over the place. And like a comic book would transition just abruptly like that, it just felt weird in a movie scenario. But sorry, I can't. I'm trying to stay positive, and I go right to the negative. Well, I mean, overall, I like Ben Affleck, and just in general.
Yeah, his Batfleck was good. I liked it.
Yeah, he was good. I also enjoyed. Like I said, we'll get to the bad stuff, but I think what I enjoyed about the movie is it is definitely a roller coaster ride. It's definitely a spectacle. But really, and that's
the effects looked good.
Really, it did. Like the special effects and
the explosions.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what Zack Snyder does. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard for me to think he was going to do anything differently than what he's done in other movies. But I would still, like I said, go see it if you're not really interested in. Here's the thing: I liked Batfleck enough that I enjoyed him in the movie, and that I would say Batman is a big part of this. I thought they were gonna kind of not give him as much because you've got the Suicide Squad movie coming out, which apparently he's in, and then he's supposed to be signed up for some additional movies. So I thought he was going to get a less of. I thought he was going to be essentially, although it's called Batman v Superman.
On the title, man.
No, I know, but I still thought he wasn't going to be featured as much as he was, and I think that is a credit to the writing and all of.
Was there more him than Superman? I feel like there was.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now, I will say a couple things. The reason I didn't, I guess, get into the bad parts of it, which are unfortunately varied and many.
The meaty part.
The part that frustrates me the most about this movie is kind of, there's lots of things, and I'm not going to spoil. We'll get into spoilers. If you've seen the movie, then you can join in on that. But two big problems. Lack of consequences in this movie.
Yeah.
There is just things happen, and it feels like wipe and rinse and wipe away.
And big things happen.
Yeah, and that's
really big things.
right? And
it
that's
just
my
doesn't
point. Is
matter.
like there seems like there's a lack of consequence, even on smaller conflicts within the movie. And I think we've talked about this, and you talked about that. You thought it was just going to feel rushed. This movie is insanely rushed. There's so many pacing issues. We were taking notes on the way home from the movie theater, and when we did our Star Wars episode 7, I was able to basically do beat for beat. I would never be able to do this because we change location, we change characters, we change scenery, we change tone,
exactly
we change setting.
It's just it's just too quickly.
It's so fast. It's this at 11, and not just in like explosions and action. It's at 11 at, for instance, Game of Thrones. There's a lot of storylines going on in that. There's a tremendous amount of characters. There's a tremendous amount of story threads, but they know that they have to strike a balance of, you need to check in with the characters every once in a while, but you also don't want to salt, pepper, like you have to take care, because then things don't have consequence. It's just generally it's a pacing problem for me. So the biggest criticism I can give the movie, and I don't know if it's necessarily his fault. I think the success of Marvel is a lot of reason for this movie having its pacing issues. Is pacing and lack of consequences. What about you guys? What did you guys not like about the movie?
I think that I don't think it's Marvel's fault. I think Marvel did it right, where they took all the build-up and all the story in separate movies, and then did a big one where you could rush it through the whole thing because you already knew and cared about all the characters. Where this one, since they're doing it backwards, where they're doing the big movie that's introducing things, and then they're going to break it off into the small ones. Well, yeah, Man of Steel, but it just didn't work the same. It was just, like you said, it felt very rushed. Plus, do we really need to go over Batman's backstory again?
I know, when they showed that at the very beginning of the movie.
When they started that, I was like, uh-oh. Crap.
I actually didn't mind that. I thought it had bigger symbolism as the movie went on. But I think the one thing I will say about Zack Snyder is that he does a good job of capturing very cinematic moments, if that makes sense. Not just for action sequences, but memorable shots. Like, because again, I'm not spoiling anything. Bruce Wayne's parents die in the beginning of the movie, right? What? No, but like the
and at Zorro again, they kind of brought that back to the original,
which is cool. And then like her pearls, the falling to the ground.
Iconic scenes. That
those are cool. It's cool to see a take. It's not a tremendously different take, but it's cool to see that in a very cinematic way instead of just two people being gunned down. But again,
I would also argue about your 11 having turned everything up to 11 the whole time. As far as pacing, it is, but as far as like in like action and things, it's not.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's not just turn to 11 on action. It's turn to 11. Okay, so for instance, pacing is the idea that obviously you create lulls so that moments of not just action but drama hit home, right? That's how you create suspense. There's no, and that's why it becomes, in all instances, sometimes boring throughout the movie, because it's constantly like, here's a new fact, and it's too much. It's like, whoa, like, calm down, like, stop jumping from character to character to try to keep telling me, like, it's just, it feels like it's trying so hard to tell so much in a short window. That's what this movie suffers from. It has to serve too many masters, and that's why Marvel. Again, I don't think it's their fault that this is a bad movie. I think but it is a creature of that success of those movies.
Yeah, this movie is the exact problem what's wrong with the movie industry, right? Warner Brothers looks at Marvel, Disney, whatever, and it's like, we want some of that Avengers money, but now. So yeah, you can't really blame Zack Snyder, because Man of Steel wasn't a perfect movie, obviously, but it was way better than this movie. And that movie, he had the time to develop Superman as a character from the ground up on his own, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't my favorite, like, by any stretch. But this is what's problem. The producers were like, we want some of that Marvel money now. Make a movie, make it work, shove as much as you can into the screen at once. Because we want some of that money, and then we'll do the background, like you said, later. And it really sucks, because I'm not a big fan of these characters. I wasn't a comic guy growing up, but yeah, it must suck for like those really diehard Batman, Superman fans.
He's a huge Justice League fan.
See, I love comics. I love Justice League, and I was just totally disappointed by the whole thing.
Yeah,
it
that
didn't
sucks.
really I didn't, like I said, a Dawn of Justice. I didn't even really feel like there was a Dawn of Justice. They briefly talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get everybody together.
But it's just that little thing. It's like,
that.
hey, you know that thing called the Justice League? We're gonna have that. This is just the start of that. We'll put in the title just so people know.
Right, and I think
it's treating the fans like they're idiots because they can't handle a slow build up like they can with Marvel.
Right.
And it must suck. And it's
Well,
greed at its highest level.
I think they felt probably also that they couldn't do it exactly like Marvel because everybody was
Right.
like, well, one, they missed the train because they're starting slow.
Yep.
And two, like everybody be like, oh, they're just copying Marvel. We're just going to see. We're just
So,
gonna go
But what's
Civil
wrong with
War."
that? Because they're copying Marvel now. It's just
I know.
right, but here's I do agree that they are going to make a tremendous amount of money on this movie, like no doubt. Now they probably will lose out on some money because of the.
Do you think they'll break even?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll make a tremendous amount of money. It's internationally, this movie will make a ton of money.
I'm sure, but
because you got to think about it. Like
single views, though. I don't think anyone's going back to see
no.
it.
But I'm saying for instance, Transformers in China made a tremendous amount of money. It makes up for a bad movie. Transformers, the most recent one, I didn't even go see because with the Marky Mark, and I heard it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The movie still made it was a huge blockbuster for the studio. So at the same time, you've got, like we talk about, money and creative, ingenuity and all those things. They all have to go together. I think why, and this is why Marvel's at fault. Not like they wanted to. Marvel somehow has the ability, it feels like, to strike a balance of being a money-making movie, but at the same time having the ability to make an objectively good movie. I don't know. It's just.
You know what else Marvel does is and we've talked about this before, but each movie kind of has a genre. It feels like it's not the genre; it's a superhero.
It's a heist
/heist
movie.
movie, right? It's
Yeah,
superhero /
buddy cop,
right? And
other than Avengers, which Avengers is just like superhero, which is fine.
Right.
Yeah,
because that's the purpose of those Avenger movies. But this one didn't feel like it was. It didn't even feel like a superhero movie. I don't know. It just felt like a pile of steaming poo.
All right, so we'll leave it on that. That's going to be our spoiler-free review. Unfortunately, not that great. But now we're going to get into full spoilers. So